Yep.
Which leads to our poll question. And I think this is let's look at what Treliving has done. He brought in Blake Coleman. I do think that it was an overpay. I will grant, but it was a good signing. Brought in Tyler Pitlick. Brought in Trevor Lewis, Nikita Zadorov in a trade. Gio was left as a for the Kraken, but I think most people went into this offseason expecting this earth-shattering, major roster construction, and it didn't happen. Johnny Gaudreau still isn't signed. Like they still haven't gotten to that contract yet, and I don't. I mean, I'm not. That no trade list has passed. Now, how would we rate Brad Treliving's offseason?
I personally, it's not done yet. I still think there's something boiling and brewing, and I just, if this is it, as of right now, it's a C plus B minus for me. Bringing in Zadorov, I thought that Zadorov was actually going to be picked by the Kraken in the expansion draft, and that was my prediction. He wasn't picked. I believe some random no-name guy, whoever was picked from Chicago for the expansion draft was picked ahead of Zadorov. So getting Zadorov for, I believe, a third rounder, that's not too bad. Bringing in Blake Coleman, yes, overpay, but I think that he will provide leadership within that room. And I think that he will be on, in my prediction, the second line, trying to help bang and crash and be kind of like a Zach Hyman type of player. So I think that's a good signing as well. But after that, it's pretty pedestrian as far as the NHL goes. Also picking up Daniel Vlader as well. As we were not bashing him, but saying that he doesn't have enough experience within the NHL. I think having that goaltender depth within this organization is good. It's just relying him to be a backup goalie. It's hard. So I mean, going down the list, that's pretty much the highlights of what he's done here. Otherwise, it's C plus B minus for me.
D. Coleman's a good acquisition, but it doesn't actually fix the major problem up front for the Flames, and that's I think they don't have the right mix up front, and I think they're missing a true right shot scoring threat in their top six on the right side on the wing, and the blue line is slow, and I think it's worse than last year, so I give it a D.
I'm in the C to the D part. I think that this is where what is bothering me the most here. I like the Coleman. I like the Coleman signing. I mean, Zadorov, I think, is a good piece. I like Brad Richardson. I think Trevor Lewis will be one of those guys. I think he'll be a surprisingly good ad, and I think even Tyler Pitlick will be. That's solid, but part of my frustration, and I guess I mean, I'm not in the general manager room, but this comes down to. It felt like to me, and I don't know, maybe I'm misunderstanding. I could be wrong, but Irfan Gaffar reported that these signings of Richardson and Gabranson have basically pulled. They have moved out of the Jack Eichel sweepstakes. If they were in it at all, they are out, and I don't know what any indication of any update of Eichel here. As far as I've read, there's no surgery that has been done. All that. So I'm not sure where the whole big picture of Eichel is. But I think to me what is my annoyance is coming from is not finding and with in Canucks Twitter, Sean will understand this. I mean, this is with Jim Benning, it's just not finding that creativity to find another piece out there to fix the problem. And that's where I'm sort of is my annoyance with Treliving is there is not it. Maybe the fan base we were just all focused too much on Eichel, but like I think a major miss, and I don't know if they had the pieces necessarily, but I think a major miss, a major regret. I'm telling you right now, Flames fans, and I'm telling you Canuck fans, the Flames missed out on Connor Garland. Connor Garland would have been a great fit in Calgary, a right shot, plays pesky. You can he would have been a perfect fit in that Flames top six. But they didn't get him. I don't know what happened there. I think that they seem to have some of the similar pieces of what Vancouver had. No, like even like an offer sheet to Kyler Yamamoto, something to just create some creativity just seemed to lack to me to Treliving. And again, I'm not in the general manager's room. There may be things I'm missing, but it just felt so much of this chips was like we're going after Jack Eichel and not thinking anywhere else. And there are options out there.
Yeah, there is something lacking within his offseason for sure. I have a hard time throwing that much shade over him, just because we don't know what offers have been or what he's offered other GMs, what GMs have offered him. Maybe he's being lowballed. Maybe he's not giving enough. But I might be just looking at it with rose-colored glasses because I'm not a hater of Brad Treliving. I think he's done an okay, decent job within this organization. It's really hard to criticize him for always being the bridesmaid. At least he's in on it. Has been my MO. And yeah, if nothing happens with Johnny Gaudreau and he walks, that's terrible. That's atrocious, and that cannot happen. I don't know. I think there's a lot of teams that were in on Jack Eichel, but it comes to a breaking point where you got to do something else. You got to move on from Jack Eichel because it doesn't seem like either side are gonna back away or decide to be like, okay, well, I guess I'll do what the other side is wanting me to do to move on from it, and make either Jack Eichel available for another GM or. It's one of those things where you have to cut bait at some point, and I think it was smart actually of Brad Treliving not to wait around for Jack Eichel to be available and going into the season with the team that he had before this past week. So there's a fine balance between giving him a lot of criticism, but if Brad Treliving is the GM that I think that he is, he will get something done by either the beginning of training camp beginning of the season, or he'll get something done midway through the year. And if he doesn't, then, man, I've been wrong.